Ruler wins phase? A believer. Where am I going? Stream recordings. What's the meta for Overwatch Fantasy this week? It's tough. It's tough. Because you need to try and min-max games. So you sort of... I think the optimal is to have a team that loses the upper bracket, wins the lower bracket, loses the upper bracket final, wins the lower bracket final, then plays the grand final. And that's how to get the most games out of it. Obviously, if someone goes on a crazy lower bracket run, that might be good too. But the problem is, these games are so hard to predict, I think. Like, Team Liquid versus GK, 50-50. VP, I don't think are going to make it all the way through. I think they lose the lower bracket final. Feel like gamble with Kellen. Yeah, I'm gambling. I might actually... I was looking at it a little bit before, trying to theory craft. I've not locked anything in yet. But I'm really considering a potential Kellen sugar-free double SSG gambit. Yeah, like, if you ask me for my bracket predictions, I think it's Team Liquid win upper bracket, SSG beat Nightmare, SSG versus GK, maybe SSG can win. And then I have... And then I think I maybe go for RuPaul as support. I think. Then I have like RuPaul and Landon. What was I doing? This was Milk Tea versus Little Sheep. Right, that's uploading now. The VOD for the mods is on its way. You've got simple. Yeah, I think when I was looking at my options, it was something like I could have who was it? I could have like Checkmate and I think it was... Wait, where's my pen gone? There we go. Checkmate and RuPaul. Or I could have Wimone and Simple. And then my third transfer, I would just swap Jwoo to sugar-free. You think Wimone Simple all day? I was leaning the other way. I actually think Checkmate RuPaul. What's the fancy meta for Wooden Spoon? Probably just Nightmare players, I reckon, actually. Like the Nightmare backline. I think that's the way to go if you want. If you want the Wooden Spoon in fantasy, you need the Nightmare backline. Keeping my stocks on Kellen. Yeah, so I think the rest of my team around this is just Landon, and then Kel and sugar-free. Like, that's why I think that's sort of my... I'll have another look before the I'll have another look before I actually lock it in before EMEA starts today. But I think those are my two paths that I'm contemplating. I've got Jwoo at the moment, but I'm going to replace him with sugar-free. I think VP will win, like Jwoo's going to score well today. I think they beat TU. I reckon it'll be pretty convincing. I reckon Jwoo will play a lot of Tracer and he'll score very well as a result. But I think he's going to lose tomorrow. Whether he plays Outcad or TM, I think he loses both. So I think the only reason to stick with Jwoo is if you disagree with that idea, basically, and you think VP are actually going to win the lower bracket as well. Would it be today the classic Unter calling a team chokers when they turn on him and beat him? Many such cases. Many such cases. Buy high, sell low. This is the last transfer period. So you don't need to make money now. You just need to spend. This is a spend money. Spend money week. Spend all your money. Get the best players. Hit me out. KSA, Wamone, Checkmate, Simple, Landon. All of them will play at least 2 matches. Most of them will play 3. I quite like that, actually. Quite like that. Weibo Gaming is new once again. Yeah, that's correct. Only problem with the triple game players is that I could lose twice and be negative. Yeah. The most important thing for fantasy this week, because I think all the players that are going to score well on the respective teams, we all know by now, right? We've had enough weeks, enough iterations where we've seen who scores well, so we know who's going to score well on each team. The key this week is getting the match predictions right. Kellen, Yubi, Wamone, Landon, RuPaul. Yubi's the huge risk there. Does he play? But I don't know if... Are you relying on Yubi to, like, fund all the other options? Yeah, I think Ziad will be a good... Because if I was to replace Kellen, I think Ziad would probably be my choice. Do I do Zero or Wimone? I'm actually thinking... I think Team Liquid will win. But if Team Liquid... Obviously, you have to bear in mind, if the upper bracket team wins, they only play 2 games. So, it depends if the lower bracket ends up being the point boost. Yeah, I feel like UB is a huge gamble on how much sim they'll actually play. And because I think everyone's anticipation is for Tracer buffs are going to mean Psycho's going to play more often. What's the red chicken scratch? And these are my fantasy options. Yeah, well, the biggest problem with Yubi is when he plays Sim. And Sim doesn't really score that well in fantasy. You know, like, Tracer is going to be a big scorer, especially with the buff. So I think you really want to lean into Tracer players. I'm kind of hoping... I'm hoping Alcacia play a lot of Checkmate Tracer. That's sort of the gamble I would have to take. Whereas with Ramon, I'm pretty confident he's going to play a lot of Tracer. Zeta will score very well because I believe with 3 games and 2 of them will be close versus Team MVP and 1 will get above 15. Yeah, I think Zia's a great shout. I think for me, because I've already got Kellen, I'm prioritizing other transfers, you know? Like, my team before these transfers is... Let me draw a line. Is Jwoo. Let me remember. It's Jwoo, Rocket, who I'm pretty confident is going to lose today and only get 1 game. And... who was my other support? And then it's Gala. You know? So the double VP is... I'm betting against VP and Nightmare. And then I've got Landon, and then Landon and Kellen are still here as well. But I think out of those 5 players I started with, Kellen and Landon are the best ones to keep. Jwoo, Gala, and Rocket are the important ones to move on. Thanks, Jake7.
What's good, fuckwit?
Just debating fantasy. Debating fantasy. Did you watch SR Picture vs Dreamlight last night? No, who won? TU are 30-2 to win on bet. I don't think it's free money by any means. Dreamlight 3-1? That means Dreamlight secured playoffs, right? I think they would, like, these teams were the 8th and 9th teams respectively going into it. How long have I been playing fantasy? Well, Overwatch fantasy just this year. We played a little bit last year actually as well. But football fantasy, like I play FPL. which is the big Premier League one. And I sometimes play, like, I'll play rugby fantasy occasionally. I don't really watch that much rugby, but my friends will play it, so I like to get involved. But probably, like, last 4 years, maybe last 5 years. Me and Chris used to play it when we were on London, so we'd always just end up talking about it endlessly. Ooh, thoughts on Riot Games allowing betting? Have they allowed betting sponsors? I know Riot were really anti-betting for a long time, but I think Blizzard should do the same. I think when you look at a lot of esports and a lot of traditional sports, the biggest sponsors are all betting. All betting sponsors. So you look at, like, how many sponsors does OWCS have at the moment, right? None? WDG have a couple, right? But I think, yeah. I think would just be I mean, to me it feels like a no-brainer, right? I guess it's more complicated, big corporation, blah 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 blah, but I think you look at the success traditional sports, other esports have, so much of it is actually pretty reliant on betting company sponsorships. Even football is, like, heavily invested. Or not heavily invested, heavily reliant, I think, on betting sponsors. Have you seen the article? I haven't, no. I mean, I know a lot of Premier League teams now just have, like, betting sponsors as their main shirt sponsor. Yeah, zero. Like, WDG have a couple, right? And I don't know. Can't remember seeing so many, but I wouldn't be surprised if China has a couple as well. Oh, let's look at this article. Is it like the industries? Let me put it. See, let me get rid of this. My fantasy stuff as well. Construction, alcohol, and food sponsors are no longer visible on any Premier League shirts, while gambling is more common than ever. Yeah. Okay, so this is them over time. So Brentford have been gambling for a long time, but Brentford and Brighton are also owned. Is it a gambling company that owns them, or is it just a data analytics company? Because Brighton is owned by a guy who runs, like, a big data analytics company that makes, like, models for predicting like football and, like, talent projections for players and stuff as well. I think it's a big part of the reason Brighton have such good scouting. But Brighton are owned by the guy who made that, and Brentford, I think, are owned by a guy who used to work for that company quite high up at Brighton as well, which, you know, but yeah, gambling, couple financial services, air travel. Yeah, that's, like, predominantly gambling. Oh shit, we're going in. We're going in! Bloody hell. Came out of nowhere, didn't it? Came out of nowhere. Alright. Enough financial talk. Let's lock in for this, because this is also an elimination game as well. And Gargoyle's just going to kill immediately. So Team CC doing the same thing they did last week as well, yesterday, where they take us straight to a dive map. One that they dominated, actually, against Rock Esports even, and they are off to a great start here as well. Obviously, Ruler, if you watched him in OWCS Korea, was the player we've probably seen play best known for his Winston, even if it wasn't always that successful. Fia and Weir on the backline for zones, playing the Kiri Lucio, so it's basically, it really is just a full mirror. As we saw in our previous game, I think, obviously, the Tracer has been massively buffed. So a lot of eyes on the Tracer's ability to have impact right now. Early pressure and Ruler. This is a one jump, one death situation, I think. Out on a sliver of HP, not out at all. Late trade, but won't change the result. And Team CC, dominant right now. Absolutely. Oh, I've got a hiccup, sorry. Absolutely Dominant. Playing the retake now, significant ult disadvantage as well. Unknown has got a miraculously fast beat, honestly. Actually, how's he got this already? So a chance to play aggressive, beat, force a cooldown, beat push to keep chasing. You see Unknown up there farming. Bit of early poke, Kaneki in position to go as well. They've pinged for Freya here. They're just trying to keep zones contained right now. Now we're going to swing around the corner looking for the Freya, and Kaneki has deleted that one. They beat push. Honestly, they probably didn't even need to have to. They were so all over that Freya. And it's just clean up kills now as well. Lucio's going to be taken too. And we're approaching last fight already for Team CC. Kitsune Rush going to be up slightly quicker. Primal going to be up slightly quicker. Zone's still hopelessly far away from this beat as well. They need to clear this space here, but Ruler's taken so much damage from this Freya. They are on the back foot. Bowler's going to go out, but they've already de-peaked out at least, so Zone's able to kite the first ultimate. Gargar's used Bubble as well, and this is a chance now for Zones to try and take the fight to point. Pride has lobbed this pulse bomb, and will get traded by Kaneki. Disaster. Now it's Ruler who has to get the touch, but they Kitsune Rush on top of him. The Kitsune Rush from Zones is nowhere near Ruler, so he won't be getting to this Primal. Gargar already has his. And this will just be cleaning up. The beat comes through from Fear, actually saves for Kiriko's life. But they can't give a touch. And Gargar will continue to force him off point. 100 to 0 for CC. He actually got that beat so quickly at the end. But unfortunately, his team was dead by the time it was truly available. Alright. More of the same, it looks like, from Team CC. Need to change a winning formula. Zones potentially go in a different direction, hovering the hazard map Brig right now. So imagine they're going to want to play through the right-hand side of the map from their perspective. That's the inside side. You can see the SimCP go in that direction already. So they're going to try and control this right-hand side and force point through it. The hazard can do a lot to bully the Winston out of position in these situations. The problem is Team CC, they can take the wide side of a point. They can play slow, play for their Freya to create a little bit of space. For now, though, Zones are actually just sort of going blow for blow with position as Gargar tries to find this space. Early slash now, and a wall off onto the Winston. Counter bubble onto Ruler right now. They burst the bubble, and they can fail or score Gargar back. A lamp comes in to save for life as well, so that's a tank advantage, but no, not for long. 4v4 now. Pride has used his recall. Going to come down to the Freyas a lot now, if they can find any crucial bolts. Taking the duel, but nothing connects for Pineapple here. Point control is open, and it's Team CC who get their feet on it first. Both tanks coming back. Gargar's going to be back slightly quicker, though. Kaneki's died though to Remaker. He's got him a pick. They can contest this point. They're all over this Winston. They try and wall off the jump, but they have control of a point now. They're going to keep peeking with Pineapple, but they can't commit to the fight, and Ruler's going to walk forward looking for a little bit more. Alright, first fight in the way of Zones. Bit of life with this comp change. Bit more pressure. Looking for his opportunity here, Ruler. Just doesn't want to allow his Freya to have too much space. But they don't have to rush anything here with their comp zones. They can keep controlling the point, keep the Tracer contained, punish for Winston every time Gargar tries to walk up, force him to bubble defensively. They poke Ruler out a bit, and Ruler actually has to back jump. Now the bubble to chase, bubble off. The lamp is saves for Hazard, doesn't save for Brig. Now Gargar has to be careful. Freya damage on, beat push over top from Unknown. It's a really quick beat again. And that beat advantage is just going to be brutal. How's he getting his beats so fast? Now Zone's going to have to play retake, and this is going to be the hardest type of fight they're going to have to take. Because if you look at Pineapple's position, you look at Gargar's position, they are on the high ground. Remaker is going to try and challenge that as Ruler comes up as well. Oh, a point force actually. Proud's got behind, so Kaneki comes to match that. But now, TP back as well from far away to try and overload that. So Pride's going to de-peak, but this has allowed Zones to walk up a little bit, clear the high ground, take a fight on point. Pineapple has to be awareness tracers behind him as well, but he's only got eyes for Fear right now, and the bolts just kill him through the shield. All the hard work, a good touch by Pride. They take the space, and then Pineapple undoes all their hard work with just a few bolts. The power of Freya. Still trying to clear out Ruler here. They're making a bit of a meal of it. Downpour comes through as well. Pineapple just about avoids that one. Downpour finds nothing. They're going to be forced back once more. And now a chance to set up forward. They're trying to chase Remaker on the left. They get that one, and now they can set up on high ground as well. Might even be a late kill on Ruler here as they keep pushing forward. Gargar's dropped on it. Lamp comes out, trying to save Ruler's life. They're going to rally to save his life as well. Bash onto Kaneki. Doesn't quite have recall yet. Bowler buys invaluable space, though. And the Kitsune rush as well. They invest everything to make sure make sure Kaneki lives. And they'll get all the cleanup kills as a result. They can continue to hold this high ground. Gargar's going to got Primal. And Unknown is going to have another beat. How much of these fast beats are just for healing buff? Because they feel so fast. They're going to kill Remaker and Spawn right now. But Unknown is going to have another beat again. Early dive from Gargar onto this Brig as well. Kaneki deletes that one. Here comes the beat. Wee is going to get boots out of his lamp. There was no escape for him. And Team CC in full control. Proud is trying to force the point. Farway and Kaneki going to come and respond to that one right now. Proud's going to try and play for Mega. Does get the Mega, to be fair, and gains a blink from it too. But he's still on life support. Unknown will clean that one up. And now they're retaking with Window and a Bowler, but already a bubble off onto Ruler, force them to back foot. They need to touch hit zones. They need to try and make a move forward. But it's so difficult for them. No Tracer available. No touch coming through. And Team CC, they take the first map. Is Unknown super rich or a new player? New player. So super rich off the team. Unknown comes in. And smooth sailing for him so far, honestly. Starting to look a little bit like a big mismatch, isn't it? Obviously, Team CC always do well on the dive compositions, right? So zones can maybe change the matchup here. Oh, Super Rich has moved to coach, has he? Okay. A classic career path. Where is he? Oh yeah, him and LNLD. 先是把温斯顿推下去，然后后面又推下去一个卢西奥。这张地图上面的理解 ，Team CC 真的是领先不少。那对于粽子来说，这张地图从他们 Is it a heal buff? I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously they're hard stomping anyway, so you'll do it. You'll get your ults quicker, but I feel like it's the beat, the healing change to Lucio is making a big difference here. Because what was it? Was it 16? Well, actually, I guess it just makes sense, right? Because what was the change? Was it 16 to 20? Just 16 to 20? Just on his passive healing. So yeah, so if you do the math, the increase is 4. That's a 25% increase. So therefore, if you're healing at max rate, you'll just get beat 25% quicker. Yeah. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. Trust TU? I mean, it would be a bad time not to have a Lucio player. I think we're just on loot box drops at the moment. OWCS drops will start later today when we move on to the EMEA coverage. DPS passives are not exactly that. Yeah. I mean, but it's a big increase. 完全 OK， 这个打法也是他们在前段时间或者说前对一直在利用的一些东西。原式配合上害灾，如果说这两人能把一轮爆发打出来，确实。What drops will nodes be? Ooh, I should keep it up actually because someone else asked. Where did I find it last time? It was on Instagram. Instagram. 色在的话呢，你如果说打不出来这种爆发，整体的消耗的过程当中就会变得非常的尴尬了。就其实还是容错率比较偏低，特别是在这个版本这个禁疗被增强。It's these ones. These ones. I'll keep this up actually. But yeah, these are the drops for 28th to 29th. So today until tomorrow. I don't know if it says anywhere how long you need for each one. It feels like it doesn't, but Banner's quite nice. I actually really like the Banner, to be fair. I guess that's the big prize for Banner, right? You get a few sprays when you get the Banner. But the Banner's nice. 在面对到原氏的时候，尤其是在两边对峙的情况下，弗雷亚只要准，原氏基本上是很难满状态进入到人群当中的。这个问题其实是在目前为止看下来，因为你的整个的两边的如果对消耗是完全不对等，原氏进去是一定要最好是。Why would TU have 2 flex supports then have their emergency sub be a 3rd flex support? Because they were just filling the roster slot. A lot of these emergency subs, you're not necessarily always thinking about what role they fill. You're just looking for a sound person, you know? A sound person who doesn't mind bench riding. who can be a decent enough player and can be around if you really need him. TU is the ultimates. The EMEA roster. I do not speak Chinese, no.
我觉得对于他们来说，要不然就坚持自己以前的东西，要么就尝试一些打一些新东西。那这边也是给到了上一张地图这个。
You think we'll see Chase anywhere again, or is he gone? No, I'd be surprised if we see him anywhere soon.
没有办法了，这就是单方面一边倒了。对于
The underachievers.
整体的
Oh. Back to the gambling sponsor talk. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's that too much to it. I think it's just do it. Just do it. There's a lot of money to be made. Why not?
自选图加上班位，但我说对于 CC 来讲，他们能搬的东西确实，对于 Zones 来讲，想要去搬的东西，我觉得稍微会有点多了。
Yeah, I feel like Chase has really suffered because he's been on a few rosters now where he's not been the full tank. He's been just the Winston player of a dive guy. So I think he's really suffered. Really suffered as a result of that. I think yeah, they play after this as well, Evil, yeah. But I think he's really suffered from that. I think a lot of players do. I think it's very hard to be an effective bench player. It takes a certain mentality. I feel like we sort of talked, I think like Chris is a big proponent of it as well, about a 5-person roster too. Obviously he made those changes for TU for themselves, going from stage 1 to stage 2. But I think, yeah, the more and more I see it, it does just feel like it's mainly 5-person rosters do seem to be the way forward. Like, obviously Crazy Raccoon are a big exception there, right? In terms of they seem to be able to juggle Max and Jumbin fairly consistently. But even with Max and Jumbin, like, last year in Stage 1, did it really feel like... Not to start the Max hate again. But last year, in 2024, did it really feel like Max contributed a huge amount compared to just having Jumbin in all the time? What about the Yubi Psycho situation? Yeah, that's a decent example. It's not had as much, like, Crazy Raccoons has had more, like, time. More iterations, more testing. We're just going to play Sig? Alright. Billadeng is in as well. Ooh, immediate pause requested, though. Max had positive win rate last year, no? Yeah, I mean, it's not like that Max is a bad player or anything. I just think, especially last year, didn't feel like he moved the needle at all, you know? And even you look at how a lot of teams draft against Crazy Raccoon on some of these major tournaments, people will actually just draft him to put Max in. Can we get another Max map going on? People really see that as like their way to beat or take maps of Crazy Raccoon. I think to Max's credit, this last stage, he's actually been a more important part for them than Jumbin. But I think that's the first time we've seen that be the case in Crazy Raccoon's, you know, relatively short history.
小美之后，他其实还是有其他英雄可以拿的，哪怕拿法老金出来，我觉得都不会意外。哎，这张地图上其实对于 Team CC 的英雄池的针对还是比较有限。那我觉得纵使
You see that Simple got Champ 1 for first time ever? Yeah, yeah. Lots of people talking about him as the MVP. I say lots of people. Chris said it. But I think he's got a real good case for Simple MVP of the stage in EMEA. What do we think? Any rival candidates for stage MVP? Obviously, it can all shift this weekend, right? Like, performance in the most crucial games of the season will really propel you up there. But I can see a really big case for Simple. Ziad is another good shout, yeah. Alright. Into it then, are we? Into it. Hold on, I've done that. Predator close, perfect. Alright, so Billadeng is in. A player who every time he appears on our screen, I tell you, There's something there. There's something there. There's some promise. I'm just waiting to be reminded of it in my visual cortex. It's going to be a Sig mirror here, so a real classic. Kaneki will be playing the Sim, so can use this Sim. In this type of matchup on the Sim, you're mainly going to use these TPs to take angles. Maybe you have the occasional full flip, but maybe just TP your DPS into a meaningful position. But Remake is just going to get caught napping up front. Oh, and it is just a fall over. It's a fall over situation for Zones, and that's just going to be first point. Going to get a late kill on Weir here as well, and that's pretty devastating. We talked about the TP options that Kaneki would have in terms of TP in his DPS or even the Alari into a more meaningful angle, but really, that fight was just over before it started. Didn't have to do anything fancy. Walk around the corner and shoot him, and they'll die. Now rolling the cart up, Billeding's going to try and keep them pinned in here, and Farway with another pick. And they just pin back again. Zones can get absolutely nothing going here. They're going to have the nano boost for this retake, but they're going to have to push into a Captive Sun, a window, a bowler. Lots of tools to make this hard. What Zones really need is Pride to take care of some of these side fight positions. Ruler's going to kill Farway? How on earth has he managed that? Now he's walking out, taking a little bit of space, fighting Billeding. Weir's going to come back. All right. They found a couple of picks. A nice sleep onto Billeding as well means he's going to take a lot of damage. Cop a few melees. He shouldn't be getting out of this one. And stabilization. Okay, kind of out of nothing there, Zones. They catch a break. Good kill from Ruler. Don't quite know how he found it on the Alari, to be honest. But this is an important one for Zones because it allows them to build up to their ultimates, and most importantly, it allows them to have control of his high ground. Especially in this type of mirror, two very slow comps, hard to do rotations, you have to walk underneath this Freya. They're going to try and TP round. They TP onto the high ground, a lot of damage, but no kills. A Flux early on actually pulls Ruler into that one. Transcendence will save Ruler's life. Symbol up from Kaneki, but doesn't save him from the bowler. Captive Sun comes out in response from far away. They're not done yet. Looking for it. Looking for Ruler right now, but he's just going to die in the air. They beam him down. The Captive Sun. Team CC throw every ult in the bank at this one. And they will roll it forward. Pride is coming back with a blade, but the recontest is going to be so hard. And it's a blade with nothing to back it up. No nano, no transcendence. Thea going Lucio. Can they get the touch? They're trying to speed for it. Ruler is running. He's going to get himself onto point. He needs so much help. Pride needs to pull this blade now. The rock is going to hit. They're going to keep forcing it through. Pride has bladed. He's killed for Lamp, but he needs 3 more kills. He touches it with a centimeter to spare. It was a desperation blade. And it wasn't close. Full steam ahead for CC, and they're going to take the high ground early with their Alari, their Freya, and their Sigma. Ruler's going to come and try and challenge that right now, but probably going to be pretty big open space around this pool area. So it'll be a relative stalemate here as Pride tries to close the distance a bit, but he's had to use his deflect already, so he dashes back. They're losing this poke fight right now. Big damage coming through. Remaker's going to fall, and Remaker's been having a rough time of it so far. Now they're going to chase onto Ruler. Billeding's considering pushing this. He's going to slow it down, actually. They want to clear up behind. Pride is alone behind. So Farway will clean that one up, and now Billeding can walk forward. Matrix advantage here to push for Sigma as well. Walking forward. Rock is going to get blocked, though. Actually holding his own here is Ruler. He's forced Billeding. Billeding needs a little bit of help. He's Alari's with him now. Billeding can't clear this position. He has to slow it down. The rest of Team CC have TP'd onto the high ground and found a kill, though. So, wow, losing this Sigma battle, not enough for Ruler to actually convert a kill, but Weir does normally have, or does nearly have, a nano available. Pride back on the Tracer. Just trying to clear him out, but another TP onto the high ground. Billeding is awfully low, but he's got both supports with him here, and Ruler is now just on point. They've got full control of the high ground. A Captive Sun looking for kills. Farway wants a juicier target. Throws it out for spawn. Forces a D-peak. They need to pressure point while they've got him pinned in here. Looking for the trigger. Farway's going to get naded, actually. Ruler continues to anchor the point, and Team CC indecision on who they kill. And Nano Flux comes through. Good for one. Ruler was getting fluxed himself as well, but the Nano's done so much damage. And Team CC, they had all the good position in the world, but they couldn't convert it. But Pineapple's too late trades. I mean, it's a desperate touch. Pride can come get the touch. I think he makes it. Needs to hold his recall as long as he can. Recall has been burnt. Now Bowler comes out, but Remaker catches one. Remaker's Bowler only onto the shield, having to buy as much time as possible. Sim TPs are coming down. Transcendence at a spawn. Zones are using the ults to stabilize. The nade is good. and Zones have clung onto this defense now. Looking for a few late cleanup kills here, but they have held on. Did they have to spend a lot, and it's not going to get any easier for Zones as they now have to face a Simwall. Zones need to do more about these TPs. If they're going to TP onto the high ground, you need some kind of response now. Gonna rotate to clear the high ground again. Kaneki's gonna catch a nade. Ooh, 1 HP. We'll be okay. And Billeding's taking a little bit of space, floating onto that high ground to get a better angle. Now they're coming through. Simwall push is available, but Remaker wins that duel. Sim TP is there. Simwall comes through as well. They keep pushing, but they die on the way in. Disaster push for CC. Rock comes through, cancels that Matrix. Now he's pushing the advantage onto Billeding here. Both supports still with Billeding, but Ruler is looking for these kills. Lamp had to be used as well. The supports are so low, but Lamp will keep him alive. And CC take the slow and treacherous kite out of that. Now coming back through, Flux onto this. They really want to kill the Sigma. Billeding's going to take a lot of damage from this, but the full pocket is still coming through. A Captive Sun to turn it. Billeding is 1 HP. They can't kill him. The Team CC supports keep him alive through everything. Now a window as well, and Billeding punches back with the rock. The storm has been weathered by CC. They absorb everything. No cleanup kills. Now they need trades. Fia's found one on point. They need to deal with this Zen. Should be a finishing kill. Goes for a rock, can't find it. Pride is dead now. Ruler is back on Diva to try and stall out the point. Can he get the touch? No! And CC get it over the line. Outrageous that they keep Billeding alive through all of that. Some of it is missed opportunities for sure, but... But a bit of life. You know, we're scraping the barrel a bit on this, but bit of life territory from Zones in this matchup. Where would CC place in NA/EMEA? I'd probably say like 5th. Yeah, maybe 4th.
好用嘛，对面还没有解掉自己出的这套题，应该还是会这套阵容继续拿来去用。那
But yeah, not particularly high.
当中就要小心了。这个特别是在
5th EMEA, first NA.
还是要下边。
Somebody is on the Christie F side on Uncoachable.
防守方向稍微好打一些，毕竟的话，因为
Wasn't Ruler kind of good at Sig before? I don't have a strong memory of it. Most of my memories of Ruler are just kind of feeding on Winston. No, we don't know yet, Fire. Don't know yet. We know Team Vision have qualified, Falcons and Zeta Division have qualified, and what were they called? Onside Gaming have qualified from Korea as well. But the problem with the last chance qualifier is while you are invited based on your OWCS finish, you have to pay your own way there in terms of flights, hotels, and everything like that. So while a lot of these teams are invited, we're not sure how many teams are actually going to accept the invite and be able to fund their own way there. That news will probably sort of trickle out over the sort of 2 weeks following playoffs conclusion this weekend. So we'll kind of have to wait and see to see what our exact LCQ lineup is going to be, but it won't be quite as strong as I think a lot of people, myself included, thought it was. Anyway, we can talk about that more afterwards because it is a bit of a messy situation. For now, though, Kaneki has found the opening pick onto Pride, so they're going to be repelled for in the meantime. Pineapple's going to win that duel with Remaker, has been getting the better of his counterpart throughout this series, continues it here. We'll be forced back, but we are going to have a very quick nano boost here. In this type of competitional matchup, I think you have to be throwing it onto Pride. Give him the orb, give him the nano, let Pride carry, give him a chance. He's going to kill Pineapple even without the nano here. So, alright, this is what you need from your Genji in these situations. Slow and pokey. The Genji's job is to take down, clear these off angles. Now more pressure onto the Sigma. That's going to die late as well. Unknown trying to TP back. Unknown's going to get the TP out now. They have to avoid any staggers here, Team CC, or it's going to mess up their recontest. Remaker's going to try and force a duel, find something, but only really fighting a tree right now. Pride keeps coming through. The nano boost is out early. Onto it. Forces for Lamp. Gets one. Tries to nail the Pineapple with the deflect, but can't find it. Ruler's also pushed. Captive Sun tries to get blocked, but Remaker takes him out of the sky. The Captive Sun does go off. The Zen is triggered, but they have Transcendence and they have the Cap. Good early nano from Pride. They survive it, CC, or at least minimize the damage, but the problem is they can't contest point at the same time. And Zones, an opening. Decent first point, very quick. And we'll get up to a bigger version of the ult fight right now. Kaneki's getting very close to that sim wall, and that should be the strongest ult in this type of big layered fight. But eyes on Pride, because he's been making a difference here on the offense. It's an early flux from Billadeng, looking for the Zen. Transcendence will be forced. Gets quite a lot. Weir just about managed to survive. They get a kill onto Pineapple as well. Pride is at it again. Pride is all over it. They survive the flux with the Transcendence. They flux back, and Pride has just deleted everyone. You need your Genji to carry in this type of matchup, and Pride is delivering. Rocknair as well, as Ruler's going to clean that one up. But Pylon hiding in the ceiling. That's not fair. They do get a late kill onto Pride, but I don't know if it gives them a recontest. They're running for it now. They're going to try and get on point, but they are going to push into this bowler. They have the symbol, though, to buy him time, and that Pride death going to force them to completely disengage. To be fair, though, for Zones, Sim Wall and disengage a Sim Wall. This isn't a bad result. Pride is coming back with the blade now. There's a real opportunity. Team CC, they need to find a way to CC Pride. They need to control him. A rock wouldn't go amiss. Farway's going to get a pick onto Remaker. Are they going to commit to it? They've got Nanoblade right now. They're a player down, but they have the ults. Pride, the Nanoblade is coming. Just looking for the Sigma. Sigma deleted all over them. But Nanoblade will get the job done. Pylon as well. Captain's son as Farway looks for more trades. They need to be careful not to trade too many more. They will be okay. And the cap will go through. Pride gets it done again. Pride month? I mean, if there is a month for Pride to carry. Luckily for him, the China playoffs, just about in Pride month. Just about in Pride month, right? Kaneki's going to swap onto the Tracer now, so maybe a bit more of an ability to threaten the backline as well, get into this Ana or Zen. Defensive nade comes through. Ruler has the flux as they try and come through the choke. Rock is avoided, importantly, by Fia there. He nearly has the Transcendence. They're struggling to get themselves out of this choke, though, here. They're going to keep them contained. Pride's going to keep the payload moving. And at a certain point, CC either need to come out of this choke or just go back to the next one. They clear that Tracer behind, force Kaneki back out, and bolt on him as well. Kaneki has no recall, remember. Remaker's pushing for the kill. Ruler, though, he's got himself onto the high ground with this flux, and he's pushing for more. A window has been used, but they get that Tracer late off screen as well. Now a few players down, and CC, they have to slow it down. They have to try and regroup, but Pride, he dodges for Rock. There's a Bap and Sig still up here, but look at the car. It's hooning towards that cap. Pride is looking for more. Transcendence on point as well if they get in trouble. The perfect answer to Billadeng's flux, and Pride is looking for more. Dash to avoid for Rock. They kill Unknown on the low ground. Ruler is antied, though. They need to get him off. Nano comes through. Transcendence comes through. Both to save Ruler. They sort of double support on, but they just got so much. Billadeng is trying to hold this flux, but he's not on the point. He's going to flux afterwards. But what attack from Zones. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Thank you, Pure Guava. Told you Billadeng is a fraud. Yeah, but Billadeng, he's starting to get a reputation to just come in and struggle on these maps. Your value bet. What were the odds on the bets? Let's, where am I going? Here? No. Where can I see it? It's at the top. You all. There we go. Oh my god. It's 89k for CC versus 3.4k from Zones. We're in a wealth redistribution situation here. So question comes for CC, how are they going to contain this Genji? What's really nice for Zones as we enter this overtime situation is because they've got such a bigger time bank. This gives them opportunities to just get these, like, definite win combos, you know, the Nano Blade, stuff like this. So, really, their comp very much is going to benefit from this bigger time bank because of the powerful combos they have available. Team CC are going to mix it up. They are going on to D.Va, Ana, Juno, Genji. Now it's actually going to shoe on the other foot right now, as it's CC who are going to be using these Juno rings to try and punish this Zen Ana backline. And they don't even need a Juno ring for that one because Pineapple just hits the shot. Now it's a full disengage. Weir has to defensively nade. Pride is going to have to dash backwards here. Needs to be careful not to get staggered, but Billadeng keen to keep the pressure up here. Force them further back. Ruler's going to deep peek into the house. Low on cooldowns right now. Ruler has to be careful. Going to matrix a few of those heals. Pride comes to get involved as well. Defensive nade has to be used. Weir's only halfway to that Nano. Farway is keeping pace with him here. And a speed ring. Nano Diva. That's going to delete the backline. Rock onto Billeding. Slows him down. 20 seconds left. Sleep is wasted by Weir, just fishing for something there. Just throwing all these cooldowns out for choke. There's an opening here, but I think CC are keen to wait for their Nano. Nade is caught by Pineapple, actually, so ends up just being a defensive one. Nano boost for Farway is up now, and Pride caught on the flank. The Rock has been used down. There's an opening for the Diva as well. Looking for it, or do they go on the Genji? Both options viable for Farway. There is a defensive Nano available now for Weir. Uses it onto Ruler, but Ruler's anti. He has to hold it, but Weir's found a kill. He's obviously got the self-Nano perk. Now the Nano Diva comes through. Sleep is missed by Weir, but Billedang, he's just trying to kill on point instead. Ruler has to anchor this. He needs full pocket. He needs a cooldown. He needs the Matrix. Transcendence isn't available yet, but Remake has found the kill. Billedang used that Nano. Now the Flux comes out. Oh, it's a huge Flux, actually. Self-destruct comes out, finds nothing. Billedang is back in mech. The Ray is nearly available for Unknown, but he dies on 97%. And Zones get the hold. Oh.
这一轮在对面掉一人的情况之下，还是没能够打出来突破口。这对于 CC 来讲，他们自己处理的其实是有一定问题的。那么攻防互换
，Now this.
个 A 点，说实话，我
This is a huge opening for Zones. Have to come back a little bit, though, to that Nano engage from Team CC. Because their comp is designed to delete an Ascent and a backline. The Diva, and Nano Diva, especially fully perked up, what a great opportunity to kill that backline. But Billeding just tried to kill on point. And obviously, I mean, Ruler was low. They nearly got the kill. But honestly, that's not what the comp's designed to do. Go kill those backliners, then come back and kill the Sigma. Deal with him later. Ruler was... All Ruler could do was survive on that point, you know? He wasn't really doing anything. He was just trying to anchor the point. And now Team CC, they're going to play Bapillari double hit scan, or, well, double longer range, mid to long range hit scan. And Team CC, they'll have a pretty good neutral, right? They just have to keep Pride in check. Just need to keep Pride in check. Obviously a lot tougher without the Brig. You know, Team CC's ban actually... Ironically, Team CC's ban is working against them more than anything. Because a Brig would go pretty hard into helping to keep this Genji contained. But... live and you learn, I guess, right? Live and you learn. Zones are going to have a few key ult timings as well in terms of this Nano. They force an early lamp out as well. And already Team CC, they concede for space. Kaneki with an important kill, though. Team CC need a few of these. They've got such a big time bank to worry about. Rock isn't going to hit, but Ruler has been forced back. Headshot onto him as well. Ruler's actually really low. Needs to be a little bit careful here, CC, because all this damage, if they don't get the kills, will just feed Weir's ult charge. Weir's already at 60%. Pushing forward, seeing if they can get any more. Billeding has to back it up now, though. And we're getting to this. Get to this first Nano timing. There is a choice for Zones if they just use the Nano, or do they wait for the Blade? But Pride has, like, piss all Blade charge. Honestly, they can probably use this Nano and get close to another Nano. Now they come in round, slide, dash in, force them to this corner, and then they want to swing this corner with Nano. They force the Sojourn out. All eyes on Pride. He's provided so many openings for them on this map. And he's going to look for another one here. Fear nearly has the Transcendence to follow as well. Farway has a Captive Sun. Farway probably needs to play for trades with this Captive Sun, though. Here comes the Nano. Eyes on Pride. He dashes in. He goes for a Freya. The Alari jumps back. Captive Sun as well. Pride can't find anything. They forced the lamp out, at least thanks to the nade more than anything. Captive Sun doesn't connect from Farway. They have the Transcendent soon zones. They can keep going with that. But for now, they've had to DP back at their choke. Billedeng even has the Flux. Can try and force this Transcendence defensively. Rock misses from Billedeng now. They're walking forward, Flux in hand as he tries to fight the side, and another kill for Kaneki. Remaker's going to trade it back, so it's not over yet, but the window will seal the deal, I think, for Unknown with that kill. They can push Ruler back, looking for the late kill as well. Rock is available, Rock connects, that confirms the kill. Kaneki lands another one. And we're down to the final minute. Transcendence, Flux, Blade, all available for Zones. Team CC have their overclock, their bowler, their Flux. They can make it scrappy. If any, what's important for CC is they need this Transcendence not to be used on point just to push for Sigma. They need to force this Transcendence early. Kaneki's going to start with the overclock. They try and de-peek it. Pride is separated though. Oh, Weir's just stuck in the open. Pride has used his deflect. He dashes back. More time off the clock. 25 seconds and zones. They are running out of time. They're looking for Fia. Oh, the Transcendence is forced. He didn't think he could afford to die. Now Billadeng can even flux himself out of trouble if he needs it. But Pride with a blade over the roof. He's got two. He's doing it again. Free. Pride. Oh, Kaneki finds the trade, but I don't think it's enough. Billadeng's going to die. Kaneki has to run. Pride has provided them the opening. Can they even get a touch? They're going fast here. Unknown is racing back. Desperate for the touch, CC. But they're not going to make it, I don't think. Pineapple's going for it. Kaneki's found it onto point. He was hiding on the low ground. He's going to get deleted. They come back out now. Billadeng on Doomfist. Weir is 1 HP. Weir gets traded. The Doomfist is back. They've been forced off point. Rock onto Billadeng now. Pride is back on Tracer. Billadeng trying to clutch up on the Doomfist. Only punches for cart, though. Nothing. Remaker and Ruler clean it up. And zones. They needed every moment for it. But Pride month continues as zones get themselves a map in this series. Now, who are our big winners? Let me lock in for this. Botch Doge, 40k. No Time, 20k. Mama Hamter, 13k. Westy with 13k as well. Gamero. That was a clean blade as well. CC just weren't ready for it, right? They killed Pride. They forced Pride out. Pride just comes back in from that flank angle, has the blade, and all of a sudden he's just got a free engage on everyone, you know? He's on them before they realise it. And CC drop a map. It really is Pride month, it is. It is. Unknown literally trolled though. Yeah, let's go, because we can take an action replay, because it was a crucial fight. And the game sound is very low, so I didn't realise the blade was coming out until like he was in. Oh, you mean on this bit? I guess they know Kaneki's going to get the touch. Oh, then he goes Juno. Oh!
Keeps harassing me about our 3-month anniversary.
Thank you, Hadidas. Appreciate the 3 months prime. So yeah, he goes Lucio. And then he goes Juno. Speed boost everyone. Then he goes Lifeweaver to pull everyone out. Then he goes Lucio again. Kaneki gets the first touch. I mean, he needs to try and get everyone out of spawn. I mean, because Kaneki doesn't die in the fight before, like, because Kaneki kills Pride here, right? And then Kaneki is hiding, like, if I can get an angle for you. My presumption is Kaneki, yeah, like, Kaneki's in here, right? So he's hiding for the touch. So Unknown knows he has, like, time to try and get everyone back from spawn. So I don't think it was too bad, actually. I want to see this blade again, though, because if look if they push forward, right? Pride is right here, but I don't think you can see it's behind my camera, but he's right here right now as he dashed out. So they push forward for these kills. They're so locked on these kills. They force for Transcendence. They start it. Pride's going to pull the blade now. He's just come back on his own flank. And before you know it, Pride is on far away. The lamp is... I don't even know what the lamp was for, honestly. Maybe Pride started on a different target. And then, yeah, Billadeng tries to... Wait, Billadeng's flux is cancelled as well, actually? Yeah, it's off screen, but if you look at the HUD at the top, Billadeng's going to flux to try and get a few more trade kills. And then he's rocked out of it. So actually, Ruler clutches up as well here. Because if there's more trades in this fight, it gets a little bit rough in terms of, you know, how many people are there for zones and everyone staggering back and everything like this. So actually, yeah, Ruler clutches up off screen as well. But surely having Lucio... Yeah, I think does he come back... Oh, yeah, I've gone the wrong way.
我们看他们的对手，如果说真的觉得在对原石上面没有太多的一个自信，或者说你在处理上
Yeah,
面
but he arrives with his team, no?
，Barca 他
Like
是最好的一个选择。
Kaneki, because Kaneki's fucked, honestly. Like, like Kaneki's just fucked, really. But that's kind of the nature of it. The problem is, like, Sojourn's not the best hero for this. And then, like, when the team comes, I presume he's there, right? But I can't really see.
想要把这个体系拿下来也
Or is he with the Ana?
跟阵容来看一下这边的一个
Oh, he's wait. Is he waiting for the Ana?
蛮接近的，但是要知道的是
Is it Farway that trolls?
这边的
Like, why is Farway gone at... I mean, he's going Ana to try and clutch, right?
对于 Zones 来说，使用了原氏这个点，他
But Farway makes this decision so late, because Farway spawns when Unknown
我们
spawns.
看到在输出伤害上
Like, Unknown and Farway spawn now, right? So, if Farway wants to clutch on Ana, like, fucking go Ana and get walking, you know? Because then he goes Kiriko, which is fine. Really good in these overtime
其实
situations.
我们刚刚一直在说他们的这个原氏，当然他们的原氏是
But then he goes Ana.
但是我们也看到 Ruler 有几次去有跟到
Yeah, honestly, like,
不管是 Ruler 还是说弗雷亚
I think it's actually Farway he trolls
这
it
边的
by going Ana so late.
这个
Because then Unknown is staying, like,
抬起来之后呢，也会有
you
一
can...
个
It's hard to see because of the pixels, but can you see this is, like... This is our Ana and Lucio here, I
在
think.
里面有看到过，那队友都给他提供了非常好的一个机会，他确实也没有
He went Kiriko to throw Suzu from spawn.
这个回报率也变得非常的高。那
For what? For
非常有
Kaneki?
意思的就要看一下 CC 是要去考虑从地图上针对到对面的原石呢，还是说从这个班选上去针对到这个原石？
哎，对，这张地图，其实，在上一张地图，除
What do you
了
mean? What's
搬
he
掉布里
throwing?
吉塔之后，除了自己这边可以使用低瓦冲阵以外，那在后面的地图上，布里吉塔是被
Or do you mean just for, like, the little
相对来
speed
说
boost
多了
thing
一
you
手
get
选
from
择
it?
在自己这边，那 Zones 其实还是归根结底还是要看到地图，看看。
Yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Because Kaneki's getting the touch. They just need to be there as a team.
而且要注意的是，我觉得像西格玛这样
Like, I don't hate if he wants to go Ana to try and clutch.
对自己来说可能不要尽可能不
I
要
don't hate that at all.
因为刚
But,
才 Ruler 其实也是一个无名
just he got to go, you know?
对，所以说
So I think, yeah, I mean,
CC
you don't know who's calling what, but I think it actually might be Farway who trolls a little bit more than
要么选一
Unknown.
个打架图把原石搬掉，就跟你打一些比较传统的东西，我觉得这个一定是没有任何问题的。而且我觉得 CC 肯定胜率会比较高。那如果说我不从这方面去做的话，那我选一个让原石相对来说会没有那么舒服的地图都可以。那不管怎么样来选，就是我觉得现在对于 CC 来讲，就是我觉得在刚刚这样对 CC 有点松懈，这应该是一脚贴过来了。就是你给我机会，对面是真的能抓得住，而且抓完之后还能够把这个地图给赢下来。所以我觉得是个非常
Yeah,
非常
made a mess of it because it was
大的一
actually
个惊险
it was low key clutchable, right? Like we had nearly had Nano, but we had
索拉
like
萨这张地图其实
I think gets traded in that fight anyway.
能够用的东西还蛮多。
See, I don't know, a bit messy situation. Morning off brand milk, messy situation. Could have been handled better by CC.
上了嘎嘎那破坏球，文斯顿，包括像昨天一直在尝试使用的毛加，都是
Gaga is coming back in. No surprises there.
但是要
Don't know why Farway, yeah. I mean, I can understand, like, because they think they're at ult disadvantage, right? I think they don't realize, like, they don't know exactly how much charge Weir has. So, I imagine they think that Weir has Nano already. So I actually really don't hate the, like, comeback on Ana and just try and clutch with a nade or something. I don't hate it at all. But,
前面说的选图，然后搬原石
you got to actually be there to clutch with the nade.
一种拿分的手段。那这样子打的话，如果真的是让这个 Pride 去打裂空，我觉得会比较头疼。就看一下 Pride 这段时间有没有。
Alright, yeah, Pride banned out. So, they're going to start with a Genji ban as we go on to Suravasa.
来到苏拉瓦萨，目前比分1。
Also trying to force more of this ground-based matchup, right? It was...
两边人阵容目前看起来。
Well, actually, no, wait. They want to go to Suravasa. Wait, didn't bloody CC do this yesterday? Bloody CC. CC beat Rocky Sports on Dive on Ilios. And they did the same today. And then, what they do, once they realise they're a better dive team than the other team, just don't pick any dive maps. Just don't pick any dive maps. Go to Suravasa and take a ground matchup. Honestly, CC, you deserve the bad things that are happening to you. This is a bed of your own making. Alright, looking in though. CC should still be heavy favourites in this. At least he's got a Malga now. And remaking with the opening pick. There's no... Oh no. It's too early to call it, right? It's too early. But it's just got that feeling that maybe it's starting to... A few things starting to go against Team CC. They're forced out of a choke after that opening Freya duel. That's actually class, brand milk. Is Zone's backline fuck you at where you at? Yeah. Pride's gonna fall early. Pineapple with the opening pick. Now wants to take this duel with Remaker. Got him as well. And CC all of a sudden have all the high ground and they have to slow it down. Remaker's in a right old pickle between a Tracer and a Freya. And it's going to be an easy retake from CC as they re-establish their hold. Playing the Ana Brig here is a bit weird in terms of the Orisa. I mean, it kind of has like a TUS comp written all over it almost. But very slow. Really, this type of comp, like Ground Tank Ana Brig, is good at holding one particular space. I mean, to be fair, because they banned the Lucio and it's versus a Bat Brig, there is less worry for the Ana Brig in terms of getting run down here. But I feel like if Team CC went a Juno or something, all of a sudden that would get very scary for the Ana. We'll see if Faraway chooses to swap it. For now, though, a window onto the high ground and Nano onto Remaker to ensure he lives that. But can he get anything done with this Nano? He's just staring down the Orisa right now. Gargo's going to walk into everyone, convert that HP advantage onto Ruler, force them out. And they convert that one, and they need to be careful not to stagger. Pride's going to go for a late pulse bomb attempt. Just force the lamp out, but he might die late as a result. Will die late as a result. And this means the touch is just not possible. No speed, no Tracer. Zones are going to have to give this one up. You can see they're already just setting themselves up in the middle, trying to gamble which way the point is. It is going to be the fountain on point C, so Zones can actually get control of the choke first if they want here. Maybe even get themselves onto that high ground. Ruler now, Terra Surge available, but CC, they've got the rally advantage here, quicker than Fear. Pineapple's actually going to get the high ground here. He's going to be able to take the duel with Remaker again, and they've not committed a lot of resources to this high ground. Thought it would be a good place for Ana Brig, but they're just playing quite far back instead, so it's CC who can take control of the high ground if they want. Gaga is half HP in main, so they have to be a little bit careful. Remaker's going to peek back with a bolt. Pineapple wins the duel again, and now Pineapple can start taking over. Ruler's trying to respond to it a little bit, but they are just de-peeking right now. Zones will concede the space. Retake onto the high ground for Ruler. He's actually going to javelin his way out of that when some Tracer pressure comes in behind. And the rally from Fear. He is all the way in there. Where has he come from? Terra Surge over the top. Fear's going to die. Twirling batons. Garga's pretty much the same size, actually. But the tail end of the rally advantage allows Garga to keep pushing forward. Pulse bomb now into Ruler. He's 1 HP. That'll finish the job. Fear there coming back high ground. Just trying to force their way back in there. A bit unexpectedly. But they're going to get fully reset. Few late kills into spawn. Ruler now going onto the Hazard. Is it just out of spawn? No, he's walked out of spawn. He's committing to it here. Hazard a decent matchup into the Bat Brig. They'll have a Nano to throw into Ruler as well here. Nade onto Garga to try and clear that one out. Javelin keeps him a bit of space. Garga's going to go forward actually here. Weir's dead in the back though. Pineapple's dealt with this one. Pride is trying to trade it, but the lamp keeps everyone safe. Pride still gets a kill anyway. Gets a kill and gets out. Outrageous. He's 1 HP. Kaneki is able to chase it down. And they will be forced to reset, but these trades are going to allow Zones to take a bit of space here. Just need to be careful as they are still trying to play this. Pineapple is just committing to this position. He's got pocket from his Tracer and his Brig there. But now Ruler dives in, but Ruler's just dead! Oh, he had to go for the touch. Doesn't make it. A disaster for Zones. And CC with a notable advantage. Nano available. Window in response from far away. They're going to get over to point E first here. Chance to hold the choke, get Pineapple into a meaningful position. Kaneki's just going to go clear point, make sure nothing's there, and Zones have made another swap. Ruler is on to for Winston. Nano boost for his first jump as well. Needs to find that BAP, needs to find that Brig, but Pride has had his recall force before this dive comes in. Now looking for the Freya. Garga's trying to find him, forces him back, keeps that Winston at the choke. Now looking for it, Nano jump comes through, but oh, it's sent back. Whip shot is good from Unknown, and Ruler is doing nothing but just zapping from a distance. He's going to commit in here, but he has no bubble for this. The Nano's going to fade. He's going to die in the backline as well. Good whip shot from Unknown. Shuts down that Nano push completely, and Garga can force everyone else back. Spear his own teammate, just in case. When you're in the zone, you're just fighting everyone, you know? And that's going to be CC taking the first cap as well. They're going to come back with Rally, but Team CC have one to match it with here. Really, it's just all advantage for CC. They can mirror the Rally, they can drop a Terra Surge over the top, which means they should win that Rally trade. difficult job for Fear as they need to walk up and take space with Rally while also trying not to get pulled into that Terror Surge. Fear doesn't quite have the Rally yet. They've missed the Pulse Bomb. They try and go over the top. Farway's going to have to lamp, but the Rally's there to save him. All of CC are there. Ruler's going to try and back up, get speared and bolted. Everything in the air. They will reset, and they have kited out that Rally reasonably well. Pride's going to try and take some space, but Kaneki's going to respond to that. Now the Terror Surge in. It's pulled everyone in. Terror Surge, Bowler, the bubble for defensive nade, but it doesn't matter. Rally is out from Fear, but he is 1 HP, and Kaneki will confirm the Rally Jacks. And now, Zones, they've got one more fight. They've got to make it work. They've got a Bowler, they've got a Primal. And Team CC don't have much but a window, and a Primal's going to match up very well into that window if he can get on top of a Baptiste. Gargar's trying to hold the choke as aggressively as possible. Remaker's going to poke to clear him out. Gargar's down to half HP. He's had to spin. Still has Fortify, but he's forced all the way back. Looking for this Primal. Whip shot is good again. They've separated the Orisa, though. Gargar's going to have to go the long way. Can they kill Gargar? They've got pressure on him right now. Gargar's low on cooldowns, half HP. Window to relieve pressure. Need that Primal to go through it, but Ruler is right there. He's on the back line. He doesn't even need the Primal. He's killed him. And they... honestly, Gargar just made that too easy for him on the retake. Standing so far up, having his HP and his cooldowns forced means they just have to concede all this space. So by the time Zones actually get their jump, CC are already low on resources and they're at the back of the map. And Zones, a lifeline. A lifeline for free. 2 ultimates in the bank as well. Pulse Bomb available for Pride. Trying to figure out which way CC are coming from right now. Trying to find a nade timing with this dive. They come through the choke, but Baptiste has swung through. Pulse Bomb from Kaneki gets nothing as Fear is just roaming around. CC are getting towards point here, and Zones have kind of missed their opportunity. They need to go with this Nano or Primal sooner or later. They need to connect. Kaneki's been forced out in the back in the meanwhile. Where is the dive? Ruler is half HP. Primal will be popped now. Eyes on the Baptiste. Both backliners are low. The lamp comes out. Needs to get him out of the lab. Will get him out of the lab. Can finish the kill thanks to Pride. Now coming in for more. Pulse Bomb was there, but in the end, it's a good Primal from Ruler. Gets them caught in it. They only use the 1 ult for it too. And Zones, that long rotation from CC cost them so much capture percentage. They won't get a recontest. Zones get a round back. Thank you, Remaker. A classic, a rare Chinese LARPer. We get a lot of Korean LARPers, but now we've got a Chinese LARPer as well. CC have Rally for this next dive. A good answer to the Nano. But if Zones want, they can get really aggressive with this Nano. Remember, last Rally, Fear was on a right old adventure. Fear likes to get involved with these ones. We'll see if he makes the same choice here. Looking for their dive. The nade is perfect. Pineapple's going to get 1 shot out of that. And our Zone's going to start winning more fights without having to use ultimates. CC just back it up. They're going to try and contest point here. They have the Rally to keep this fight going. CC gives time for Pineapple back. A bubble just onto the Orisa. Window comes out, goes through the window, but Pride is forced to recall. And it's D-peak and patience for Zones. They need to not lose anyone. TC just want to force the cap. They get the cap, actually. Now the Nano comes through from Ruler. Rally out in response, but so much zap damage. Trying to create some space. The backline's in trouble. Pineapple is 1 HP as well. Undo is still trying to get it done with the Rally, and the Terror Surge and Pulse have found kills as well. But Ruler's got a second. Now a Tracer battle. Kaneki with a HP advantage. Pride is just going to reset. And the trades there from Gargar and Kaneki allow CC to keep control of that point. Lots of the ults invested as well, and what is Pride is trying so hard for this solo Pulse Bomb attempt in front of everyone. There's no way Pride can get out of this. Now they're going to full pocket him. He can get out of it. I'm lying to you. Bubble on point from Ruler. Just a defensive bubble though. Try and find a bit of space, and Pride does die late. Ugh. Is eventually punished for his hubris. Some sort of Pride before the fall situation, I think. But Ruler's found a trade onto Kaneki. Now the push comes in, but Ruler's got a Primal. They have to be careful going forward here, CC. The backline needs space. They need time. They need to survive this one. Dive's coming in. Pride isn't in this dive, remember. They're going to try and push Kaneki in. He wants to boop. He wants to separate. He's just trying to get the Orisa out. Orisa is naded. Going over the edge. The nade actually caught for Cass as well. Can he juggle him in? The lamp is good. Keeps him alive. Farway's been slept in all of this as well. Can they get the execution onto Farway? He's snapped. He's napping. Their bowler out as well. They found the kill. Remaker goes all the way in. Jump in. Ruler desperate for the kills. More pressure coming through, but they need to deal with Gargar in the back as well. Fear is having a hard time. Kaneki's finding trades. Fear is 1 HP, but Pride is there. Zones hang on, but that was scary. Remaker doubles down for that kill, just flies over the wall, committing to it. But now, Zones, double support ult coming up. This is a big ult fight. Remember, Zones, they can't afford to lose this. Or that'll be the map. Nano and Rally not quite there yet, so CC are going to be able to walk to point. They can use these ults to force the flip as well, and this is going to force Zone's hand. Kaneki's had his recall forced. CC have got their Orisa on point right now. A window comes out as well. Nano is available. Ruler wants to go through it. Pride dies, though, so it's up to Ruler to try and get it all done for Rally in response. Fia has for Rally. Now he has to commit it. Ruler's trying to go over, but he has to play his life. The counter bash sets up the kill. The nade isn't enough, and this is surely curtains right now. Ruler can't even get the touch. Oh, and just the slightly quicker ults from CC make all the difference. The fact that they could walk up to point, start forcing the objective, and force Zones to jump into them just meant that Nano didn't get the value it wanted. Pride dies before the fight, so all of a sudden, the Winston Tracer dive is just a Winston dive, and 5 ults in the bank, you should be able to deal with a Nano Winston, and CC do exactly that. Take the lead in the series.
最重要的一点是来自于对温斯顿的枪线，所以说 Pineapple 打不出来优势 ，Pineapple 打不出来优势，那么他们的对手在点里面的替位，温斯顿压力就会比较小。那温斯顿压力比较小，自己家奥利莎过不去，奥利莎过不去。
Okay, so choice again, right? Choice again for Zones. Last time they went to Circle Realm and forced a Sig Mirror. I don't think they're going to be able to do that again. Limited options to try and just limited ways to force a Sig Mirror in the current day and age. But they can maybe just go to another ground-based map. I'm trying to think. Is it just a, like, just go Runa Sappy type thing? The problem is they were losing that matchup here as well. Maybe the Orisa ban is the way they want to go. It's all a little bit up in the air now for Zones, right? Because Zones have basically, they lost the Orisa mirror, had a bit more success playing dive into it. They lost the dive mirror, though, on Ilios. The only mirror they've won is that Sig mirror. Obviously, Pride was banned off Genji there, and in Zones, in the map that they won, Pride on Genji was a huge factor. So maybe they don't need to overthink it either. They can just take a version of the Orisa mirror, but this time Pride is on Genji. Oh, this combo was brutal. Perfect setup for a reverse sweep. Maybe. Just maybe.
欢迎回来，来到双方的第一个赛点。
那么现在目前比分的话是2比1。CC 今天打的其实我觉得看起来还算。
So where do we go next? What modes have we had? We've had just had Flashpoint. We had Escort.
因为搬掉了原氏，那么现在轮到 Zones 来选图。我要选一个让原氏打得舒服。
It's just like Runa Sappy or King's Row, right? Those are the directions we invariably go.
怎么来去做安排了？因为在刚刚这张地图里面，我们可以看到，在苏拉瓦萨当中，他们其实在面临到对面这种体系的时候，在换出温斯顿之后，自己家奥利莎正面扛线压力变大的情况之下，其实最主要。
You're gonna be thanks for being honest, Turlins. I appreciate it.
拿出来，你安娜在正面给的治疗量，它的这个滚起来的时候，它
might turn out to be a tennis theory.
收益，我哪怕说我放一点点。
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe if I'm Zones, I can just go Runa Sappy. We can play Genji now. Let's do the matchup again, but this time Pride's on his best hero, you know?
小慧在做对比的时候，不是小慧，不好意思，串台了啊。他在跟这个卡尼克做对位的时候，其实我觉得会有一点点压力，他并不是特别想去跟他打对位，他需要去做一些联动。
How did Zones win a map? That's a really good Circuit Royale. Proud putting a big carry performance on the Genji.
更多的操作空间在里头。
I think in those Circuit Royale mirrors, we don't see Sig mirrors all that often, but I think the Genji, the faster comps are really viable in Snapping Circuit Royale. You know, like Juno Diva, or even just a Genji, like Zones did. Why didn't Zones get high advantage when they had defensive advantage? You know, that was on the fountain point on Saravasa, right? Yeah, I don't know. I would have at least liked to see maybe a couple of them start up there, you know, like maybe leave your Ana back in main or something. But then the Ana back in main on Saravasa, I'll draw you the fountain.
在
But
这块
like,
地图里面
this is
不好打
main,
但是你
and
可
then
能
this is
做
for
出
high
搬
ground,
家
right?
核心
And then there's this little door
不
that
像
they'll
原
come
始不
through.
好打，我
But
搬
if
进
your
来
Ana's in
这
main
个
here,
比如说
you have a
搬
pretty
进来
good
公
nade
司
timing
罩
here,
子
you
啊
know?
或者是从
So then your
侧线
Winston can start
想
here,
办法
your
让他打
Tracer
没
can
那么
maybe
舒
come
服
around this
那其实可
angle.
以从这方面去考虑
Even your Brig can
因为
probably
前面
maybe
关键
take a
是
piss a
关键
little
是
bit and like
全部
even
你搬
start
掉
up here or
来
something.
看一下
And
上
can
场
always
数
just
双
bash
方的
back
数
to
据
your Ana if your
在
Ana gets
数据
pressured
层
by
面上
a
纵
Tracer or
层面
something
还
like
是
that, you know?
领先
So
了不少
feels like
但
there's
是
a really
要让
reasonable
后方
version, but
阵
like
亡
maybe your
次
Brig
数还是
Freya
要
is
见
here or
高
something. There's like a really, really
阵
reasonable
亡的
dive
次
there
数一边
if you have
22
the time to
一
be
边
there.
29说
So I was a
实
bit
话
surprised to see
在
them
北
not
京
do
和
anything.
刚刚我们的
Not
观
do
感
anything about
其
it
实
at
大
all.
家应该也能看得出来
I think someone was asking earlier about what the numbers are, so I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we're in damage, then healing. Obviously KD is KD.
3.5
I don't know what the
跟
third
1.7的
number
距离
is.
其实差的也不多。那对于这两个队伍来讲，下一张地图是 Zones 最关键的一次选图了。对他们来说，这个选图会变得尤为重要。我们刚刚看到现在自己家这边的安娜跟
Is
这
it
个
devs? I'm not sure.
原氏
Devs?
都不
Yeah.
用去担心被去做扳位了。那么就要
It's a
看
bit weird that we have
会
devs
不会
but
从
not
其他位置
limbs
来
or
做
kills,
安排
but
或者其他位
yeah.
置来做针对。
是，不管是搬掉你前排的这个英雄池，或者说弗雷亚还没有被搬过
Learn Chinese,
到你
looking into
直
it.
打弗雷亚的这个点，我让菠萝去拿其他菠萝比较擅长的，像这个索杰。
Wild here with this decision to come through
拿我
actually.
自己很擅长，拿我自己的优势英
Is
雄
the
去
map
跟
pool
这
is the
些英雄
same, I'm
对
guessing?
可能也都是
I feel like we've only
比
seen a
较
small,
不错
yeah.
的一个解决方式。
Could Midtown, I
选
guess.
一个让自己家裂空舒服。
Hollywood, Kings Road, Midtown,
对于 CC 来
Colosseum,
讲
Arena
对于
Sappy.
这个对 CC 来讲，他们让如果对面选图的选出来，如果原氏舒服，裂空不舒服，其实长生也是可以去做调整的。我们看到在这张现在的
Yeah, you'd want to do final blows rather than a limbs, because yeah, a limbs will just be like a really artificially inflated number, because every death will be like 1 to 5 limbs with the other team.
能选的图，原氏这个英雄
Super base or
只要资源
starships?
够在还是看个人能力了。
Super base.
剩下的两个地图类型。
Thanks for coming to the real expert on this.
我觉得都行吧，因为目前为止对于这两个队伍来说，怎么样？对于 CC 来讲就无所谓了，因为他打什么都 OK。因为我前面能赢的话，虽然说是看起来会比较纠结一些，但是还是赢了，而且也把你的这个
JB Bet and Kev's Tracer?
也就是说
No.
你虽然没有原氏，但是我还是赢了嘛。后面如果说你把原氏这个相对来说比较好玩的这个英雄、好玩的地图放出来，也是有一些针对的措施在里面，就看他们怎么去安排了。
Your zones you pick a Genji map?
今天
Yeah.
在不
I
管
mean,
是上登级还是上
if you
大港
want to recreate a slower comp situation, you could go Midtown. You know, lots of teams are quite willing to play like a Bapalari type comp there. It's a harder map for the Genji, I think, than Circuit Royale, but you could get the matchup you wanted.
整体的压力会变得非常非常大，尤其是自己家前排，而且对面始终是带了一个安娜在，那么安娜她整体的这个收益。
So Tio on top in the new patch?
鲁纳塞比
He's not that much better.
哦
no, just Runa Sappy. Or Billadeng in. Oh, they're actually doing Max Fury here. Just keep making them play Billadeng. Keep making them play Billadeng. And we have a chance.
这个更换，不管是去打到害灾，或者说去打。
All right, reasonable enough Genji map. They've got the weaker tanking really for CC.
这张地图上来登级，主要看一下英雄的选择跟。
All right, all of a sudden it feels way more possible for zones than it did at the start of today. So I'm excited
对于
to
粽子
see.
来讲，原氏想要打的舒服，我觉得也会比较困难。
Max has motion now. It's true. It's true. The Max maps are no longer a targetable thing, and maybe they were maybe as they were in stage 1 or 2024. All right, Zones is gonna ban the Orisa actually. CC gonna ban the Freya. I mean, honestly, I thought Pineapple was getting the better of. It's really getting the better of. Why does my brain work? Remaker. Throughout all of this. I guess potentially to CC want to force like a. CC probably going to play Sojin or something anyway. Potentially something a bit more survivability into the Genji. Maybe they just feel they've got an advantage over Sojin more than anything else. Yeah, doesn't seem like a very impactful ban from CC at all. Question becomes, what tank are we going to see with the Orisa ban? So, a lot of people might expect Ram in this situation. Obviously, Mauga is an option. Queen is an option too. Hazard actually from Billedeng at least, that's what he's initially hovering.
对，这是对看错了啊。
Not seen too much Queen since the Queen buffs, but obviously
卢肖加物子非常害灾啊，所见
she's better at shouting than she once
我
was.
们在之前的比赛里面看到非常多，而他们的对手入呢这波要打女王，女王在最近的话是有做过一次的加强，但是，我其实个人觉得
Alright,
对女王
and we'll take a look here.
不是特别的够。
It's interesting to see more of a Queen up against the Hazard. Other than that, it's a full Kiri Lucio mirror on the backline. Sojin's in play with that Freya ban as well, and of course, Pride. Choice of Trace has been buffed, but it is Pride month Genji.
主要是女王在正面她也有
Earlier space for Billedeng as zones are going to try and swing out main instead. Looking for a few knife opportunities here. A lot of this is going to be on Ruler's playmaking potential, ability to hit knives. And Remaker is in! He is so in, but Pineapple's going to respond. Remaker really trying to make use of that shout timing. Goes flying into that one. And
这就是问题所在。CC 的这个
it's a one shout, one die type of
阵
thing.
容里面是硬手。
They went flying in there. You saw the plan, right? Remaker, get a rail, will you? And then once you get the rail, we are all going to hold W as hard as we can. And then, step 3, profit. So an easy fight in the end for CC. The fight really came to them. I think if your zones... What is... Unknown's just dead? Alright, they catch him as they come through the flanks. Team CC napping at the wheel. Now pressure onto the Kiriko. No escape here for Farway. And this should be a straightforward fight after no support kills here. And zones catch him off guard. What I was going to say is, when I think about this matchup, while the shout is a powerful tool and you can be aggressive with it, I really think as well in this sort of mid-range type battle, you don't need to all in immediately if you are the Queen team here. I think you can actually use the knives, try and bleed out a bit of resources from Billedeng, force an early Suzu, force a wall out, and then you can look for it. I think generally Queen, a lot of the time, in a sort of broadier matchup, you want more patient shout timings, more deliberate. For now though, zones are just finding picks out of nothing. The shout just comes through to survive that. They need to help their Queen out of this. Ruler's taken so much damage, will get traded actually. Now the downpour to chase it. Deflex saves Pride, but it can't save Remaker. And the downpour will turn out one in the end despite Weir's opening pick and limited progress for zones off the back of that.
而女王现在就说你这个流血效果也出不来，对面有物子在。 两边现在要拼一波
Kitsune rush up for both, beat up for both. What I want to do now is a big old layer fight if I'm zones. I can either use my blade early to force a support ult out and get later support ults, or I can trade my support outs and then probably use the blade as the finisher. So it's an early Kitsune rush in exchange for this overclock, but Pineapple's keeping him at bay, so Farway's Kitsune rush is much later. Fia might just have to beat here to keep them in it as this overclock comes around the corner, but no, it's actually Pride. He wants to force the beat. He's looking for the Lucio, but Billedeng slashes him in the back. Wanted to force the beat, but no such luck. And now the defensive shout comes through, and Fia is going to hold this beat with Pride's early death. Wait, Ruder sees a chance. He's going to force the beat out with that rampage. It was a 3-person rampage, but the overhealth keeps him safe. They do force the beat out, so while they will have to concede the checkpoint here, zones, they do come back with beat advantage. Ruler's going to take the Hazard mirror now. Queen Experiment dead. Remaker's coming back with Overclock, and we have the beat advantage. Key now for zones is can we do it efficiently, ideally just with Overclock here. Let's put full pocket onto Remaker. Let's try and force a few cooldowns before we go. We got Billedeng to half HP. Honestly, he's on the back foot. Can just chase this. Yeah, Remaker's going to pop it. Pressure onto Billedeng. Body shot onto Farway. They need kills, though. Another damage slide down the rail onto Billedeng. They need a kill, though. Final rail. Has he got one in him? Billedeng survives. Kaneki will die off our screen, so they at least get a kill out of it, and they still have beat advantage. This next fight is for zones to capture the checkpoint as Ruler looks to trade. Tries to wall off Billedeng here, but both walls will be traded. No Hazard makes any major inroads. All eyes on Fia now, but Farway is getting close in that Kitsune rush. Weir's not far behind, though. Now the slash comes in, looking for it. Beat push comes through. Pressure on. Pineapple has been isolated. Pride with the slash through. The downpour comes out. Fia is locked up, but Pride is looking for Farway. He's helped find that one. Pulse Bomb is out, but Billedeng still trading kills. More pressure on. Billedeng is 1 HP. Doesn't get the mega. Ruler kills him. And Remaker has forced his Tracer away. Kaneki's on 1 HP. Can he play for his life? And zones. Zones get the checkpoint. Still behind ever so slightly, but Weir has a Kitsune rush advantage. But Kaneki's forcing early cooldowns, and they've just killed Weir. Sloppy by zones. Just get the check. Even if you don't get the checkpoint, just Just regroup, push with your Kitsune Rush advantage, and Team CC, that kill is going to be worth its weight in gold. Pineapple's about to have overclock as well, so they can try and force a defensive one. They're trying to fight early zones again. They're coming through this choke point. They've got the Kitsune Rush. Here it comes. Downpour over the top from Ruler. Locks up Billedeng. Now it's going to be 2 ults. 1 kill. 2 kills now. And they can push forward. Might be enough for them to get lead, but was expensive. Now they're going to have to rely on Pride's Blade. It's going to be Blade versus Overclock, but if Unknown can catch up on this beat charge, that's going to be the perfect answer to Pride's Blade. So Zones will be able to take the lead. Only a narrow lead, though, as CC come back. Wall off onto Ruler, but Billedeng's still quite low HP here, so both hazards are able to reset. Eyes on Pride now. Is there an opening for him? He sees them on the high ground. 3 players there for him to go for. Looking for it. The Lucio comes in, misses his dash, though. Pride is going to reset, get a bit more pocket. Had to use his deflect now. Unknown so close to the beat. They trade in main, though. Unknown now has the beat. Overclock is out. Are they not going to use it? Unknown uses the beat. That's 2 ults for nothing. A narrow lead, and they hold their ultimates. That's not too bad a situation at all for Zones. As much as it's a clean fight for CC, 2 ults there. And now Zones have both DPS ults ready to go. Need something from their DPS in this fight. Does it need to be a perfect fight from Zones? Trades will work. Just need to worry about this downpour, and Farway has a Kitsune Rush soon. Billedeng's going to be forced back. Overclock soon. Farway is dead. The perfect kill from Remaker. Now he's sliding in, looking for more. Billedeng as well. And it is tidy. It is tight from Remaker. And that's the perfect overclock for the situation. Couldn't have asked for a better opening kill. And Zones looking to extend their lead now. Can they catch Pineapple late? No. Able to slide out the other door. Kaneki lurking behind with a pulse bomb. Do they know he's there? They do now. Gonna try and force him back. Pride got eyes forward, though. Kitsune Rush comes out. Pride is hiding. They found him now. Pride needs so much help. He can't get out of this one. Pride just trying to be invisible. Doesn't work out, though. Again, Zones are being very diligent with their ult usage. They're going to use Kitsune Rush now to turn, but they need kills. It's a bit early from Weir, actually, as well. Remaker's going to keep swinging, but remember, Zones are only 4 people here. And both Kitsune Rushes get minimal value, and Ruler's actually on the run here. They have to Suzu him out. Pulse Bomb over the top. Ruler is solo blocks for Pulse Bomb damage here. Pride is coming back with Blade soon. CC have to be careful with an overstep. Eyes on Pride. He's back in the fight. Ruler is still on life support, though. They're desperately trying to keep him up. Fia nearly has the beat. They need the beat. Fia gets the beat off the Blade in the backline now. Chasing down the Sojourn. So many slides, but not enough for Pineapple to get away. They come back, but there's trades on point. It's 3v3 only after all those ults. 1 HP, Kiriko. Pride can kill that one. And it's a scrappy one, but scrappy is fine for Zones. It means they can reset it and take the payload back over to Team CC's side of the map. Ruler has the downpour now. Unknown has the beat. Eyes on Ruler. Difficult comp to hit a downpour into. Deflect Suzu. But if he can find something here, it's going to be crucial. Their first threat to deal with will probably be Pineapple's overclock here. Zones are going to try and play it slow. It's been really pretty good game management from Zones so far in terms of how they played this situation once they got lead. Pineapple with an overclock ready to go. Just keeping eyes on this flank as well. Billedeng's going to trade on the tank. Defensive wall comes through. Lots of damage onto Ruler. Can't even use that downpour. A nice shot from Pineapple. And that's exactly what CC needs. A clean fight, minimal ult usage, and now they have double support ult to try and regain the lead. 1.5 minutes. Remember, this is an elimination game. CC playing to keep themselves, to secure their spot in the next leg of playoffs. Zones fighting for their lives, and they need Ruler to find something here. Pushing for the lead, but Zones can contest before it comes out. Weir is close to that Kitsune Rush. They are so desperate for that Kitsune Rush. But if Ruler's downpour doesn't find value, they can't win. The downpour comes out into Kitsune Rush. Now the beat over the top. Weir doesn't have the ult yet, though. It wasn't enough time. Weir's going to fall, and they're going to have to concede the lead here, Zones. They're not out of it yet, though. There is still a minute to play with. And now they have an overclocking Kitsune Rush advantage. And a beat advantage just around the corner as well. But now they have to do it from a deficit position. What Zones need now is a clean one from Remaker. He delivered before. We need to do the same again. Kaneki hiding. Don't think anyone spotted him yet. Going for it. Damage onto Remaker. He's so low. Kitsune rushes out. Remaker keeps swinging forward. 2 ults used. Remaker gets 1. Should be able to get Pineapple now as well. But Billedeng's found 2 kills in the back. They're making this ugly, CC. Billedeng is on 1 HP, though. Can he get out? Disruptor shot there. Ruler's going to go try and deal with it. Suzu has been forced coming in. We've got a little picture-in-picture right now as we get eyes on the payload as well. Ruler has been forced to step back, and they can't clean up these kills. Billedeng is still so low. They need the kill on Billedeng. They'll get it. They flood forward. They've got the kills. All right, we are heading into overtime. Fear has beat advantage. Pride nearly has played. All to play for. Team CC, trades will do it for him in some of these situations. The cart will be closer to their spawn. Oh, Weird dies at the worst possible time. Fear goes for B. Ajaxes! Oh, they come through fast, and it's a support collapse. Disaster. Pride is going to pull the blade, but it goes nowhere. To get eliminated from playoffs. Zone's backline fumbles. They knew there was going to be a second recontest. Of course, CC are going to play for 2 fights. They want to force your ultimate so they have a better fight for the actual lead. Oh, they just weren't ready for it. Just napping, unaware.
这一波鹰杖刀是真解不真的容易就被翻掉了，
或者说最后那个鹰杖一旦盖下来，我觉得这个团战也打不了。但是
Vegas all around.
人头的爆发，一个干扰弹收掉了对面的鹰杖。
What a sad end to a spirited, to a really spirited game from Zones.
包括临场的一些处理和判断，并不是他们自己最顶尖最好的这个状态啊。
别的不说吧，我觉得 CC 今天整体打的确实跟我想象中的不一样，没有那么的紧绷啊，没有那么的紧绷。然后的话呢，也是恭喜 CC 啊，也是明天要去，
还是要争夺自己的，还有机会继续去争夺自己的这个门票。
Get these bums out. I mean, it was a fun match, right? We got. That's all. When these underdogs teams play, all I want is, you know, signs of life. So that's our lower bracket confirmed. Milk Tea and Team CC are now going to play each other. And this game is winner goes to the Esports World Cup, loser is eliminated. That's going to be our first game tomorrow. So same start time as today, be up early for that one. But the action's not finished here today as we have the upper bracket today. Weibo, once again, Hangzhou Spark, Team China. You know these guys. They are up against Rock Esports. They are the heavy favourites. We'll see how it goes, but Rock will give it their best shot. You mean Team from China? I do. I have not paid for copyright for Team China. You're right. You're right. That's correct, Sterlins. Yeah, that's correct for later. That'll be in about 5 hours from now. Weibo has only dropped 8 maps this year. Yeah, for those... we didn't cover a lot of the regular season on this channel because it clashed with Korea, but Weibo have not lost a map in the regular season, a 21-0. And then they have 3-0'd Milk Tea in their first game here. So, it's a golden stage. It's possible. It's possible for Weibo. Not the most impressive. I mean, it is China, they're heavy favourites, so it won't quite be a, you know, a San Francisco shock level golden stage. But it's still nice, isn't it? It's still nice. Why is it called Team from China and not Team China or Chinese team? Chinese team is fine. So, Team China is... maybe I shouldn't even write it. But Team China... the Chinese... I guess it's the Chinese government or the Chinese Sports Federation or something own the copyright to the term Team China. So when China were featuring in the Overwatch World Cup, out of a precaution not to violate the copyright, they were calling them the Team from China, as Team China is copyrighted.
其实从版本的话，其实可以看到 CC 他们选出的英雄，跟之前变化不大。
Guys, don't snitch on me. Don't snitch. Because you know what happens to snitches.
对，其实已经到败者组。
You're gonna copyright Team USA? Yeah, because I think of the Olympics every year. Everyone just has to cop it and pays China to use their name. Oh yeah, I can scroll up a little bit if you want to see. Not all of them 7M. I've talked a little bit about how I expect the bracket to go, but I'll do full preds.
我觉得大家都会觉得这是应该
full
的。
preds
那今天的比
before
赛
like
是有一个
scorelines and stuff
有
before the
一个
EMEA
明
games.
天有更
I
艰
think
苦的
I think in general
如
though
果他们
I'm
还想争
expecting
冠军的话，
TM
先打 WT
and
再打
Team
OWCS
Liquid
再打 WBC
to look like the best teams in their respective regions.
3场比赛，连着打3场比赛。
对，所以说我觉得现阶段可能调整状态还是最重要的吧，因为我们看到其实今天，在相同的地图，其实 CC 跟昨天拿出的阵容是不一样的，
对的
这个蛮有意思的。
You Alcad believers?
对比
I
昨天
mean,
的话，我们
I don't want to jinx it. I so don't want to jinx
然
it.
后效果的话，其实比
But I
赛那
feel
其实
like both upper brackets in
而且
both
因为他们的
regions
选手
should be
对
barn
对
burners
对
today.
大打的毛家，然后今天的话
Right?
换上登记完了，还在
They should be barn burners today. I'm like, we're like,
翻盘。
if we don't get 5 maps in both upper brackets, we've been scammed.
调整啊，
是的，那我们先来看
VP can win today? Yeah, VP will win today. Why would I say that? Yeah, but I said I didn't want to jinx it, so it doesn't count, right?
Apple，哎
Doesn't count?
我觉得他最后几场真的手感一下来
It doesn't count, right? Knock
其
on
实
wood.
昨天打 OWCS
I don't think this is
也
actually
是
wood.
菠萝非常非常的爆啊。
We've
最
knocked
终
on
拿
wood.
比差点完成一个
Don't worry.
123米
The
的
wood
反
has
弹
been
120
knocked.
米差个3米没翻掉。
Fantasy team, I'm thinking to bring in sugar-free, checkmate, and root pool, but I've not locked it in yet.
然后将队伍拖了回来。
You have TVNT, or you are a gambler.
没错，而且 CC 这边其实就围绕着菠萝来打啊，对菠萝的保护做的也是蛮好的。今天其实有一个菠萝刺客，就是对面的这个 Pride 啊，这个还是要提一嘴。
T, you can't play Lucio at all? I mean, they can play Lucio.
这边的表现
They keep picking
刚
it.
才我们整个都炸锅了。
对，就是这个小将这个赛季给我们留下了非常深刻的印象。如果评选赛季年度最佳新秀，我觉得肯定是要给到 Pride 的。
那他的这首
Did Lee play a lot of Trace in this stage? I didn't see the regular season, but he played, I think, almost exclusively Tracer yesterday.
小将我们也是比赛之前就提到了
Expecting more of the same here, up against Taejong on
是的，我们
the
说，因为
Rocky
他
Sports
是
side.
考上了一所
But I think it might be time for a sandwich and some more water. So let me be right back. We'll get a sandwich and some water, and then we can lock in for our final series from China today, the upper bracket final.
还有这个线下
And it's going to be a sausage bagel.
我还去解说了。
I made it this morning actually, so
对，所以说就感觉这位小将前途
I kind of cremated the bread. Which reminds me, has anyone watched The Mortician? I watched this documentary recently called The Mortician, and it was very intriguing. I'll tell you more about it when I come back,
现
but
在叫宿舍英雄。
哎，对，
Let me know.
以前我们叫高校新联赛，
各
现在叫
位
宿舍英雄
屏幕前。的小伙伴啊，如果有在上大学的，或者快上大学的，或者已经离开大学的，想回去反读的，都可以报名一下我们的宿舍英雄啊，非常顶的比赛。
因为他是研究生、硕士、博士都算的，
对
都是可以报名
对，
的
你。再念个研究生吧。
对
为了打比赛念研究生不亏的。
我们之前就是有就是博士生就还在读的嘛，然后也一直在打，反正打了很多年，然后就感觉我解说了几年高校赛，怎么
还是那些
还是这
人
个兄弟？我接下来也有可能我们就是这边刚解说完 Pride OWCS 的比赛，后面就要去解说他高校的比赛了。反正这位小将在本次比赛里面这个阶段给我们留下了非常深刻的印象啊，他的原势。但刚刚也是说到，其实这位小将的话，未来更多一些英雄池的扩充会让他走得更远。
没错。
CC 也很直接嘛，就直接有一把就直接搬原石了。
对。
那其实搬掉原石之后，可以看到 Pride 的裂空也是有操作的，但是可能对上卡内克这样的老选手还是差了一些。
Pride 这个赛季的裂空，我觉得比上个赛季的裂空还是好了不少。上个赛季他在那个 Blade 嘛，当时可能我就觉得一搬到原氏，可能这边他的发挥就没有那么亮眼啊。这个赛季他的裂空已经长进了不少了，我相信对他来讲，他以后的一个首要任务也是会慢慢去扩充自己这个英雄池的。大家都知道，打他的时候会办一把原氏，这也是对他足够大的 respect 啊。
一个尊重嘛，就是稳吃一个班位，对吧？这样子其实对于对手的一个 BP 研究方面也会造成一定的小麻烦。
但是他倒不是说搬了原氏他就打不了了，还是蛮强的。说回到 CC 这边吧 ，CC 其实今天做了很多调整。我觉得可能观众朋友们最直观的感受是，哇 ，CC 怎么打粽子丢了一分？包括我们所有人都猜的是3-0嘛。但其实更细的变化是，他做了这些阵容上的人员上的改变以后，他是为了应对可能明天的比赛。因为他如果再次对阵 ROC， 他如果不做调整，还用毛家这么打的话，大概率赢不了嘛。所以我觉得这个调整其实是一个正向的调整。
对的，今天的一个换阵换下来，确实感觉，其实他们现在这换阵换这套阵容，比昨天毛家的阵容打得好多了。
没错，相当于就是新版本试了一下。 然后也看了昨天的后续的比赛，也有今天的这些就是前面队伍的比赛，可能还是觉得暂时先去继续打自己熟悉的这一套阵容。
没错。
那纵使这支队伍的话，就是暂时要告别我们的本次阶段了，但是他其实给我们印象留下是蛮深刻的，因为这个阶段是他们第一次打进来嘛。然后队里面的2位辅助的话也是老选手了，风眠跟乌鸦。其实，在刚刚蛮多的精彩镜头，我们都看到2位辅助其实也有很多的一个高光表现。
说起来这样的话，本赛段的我们国服赛区的前4名就已经锁定了。前4名能直通下个赛段的就是 WBG、ROC、Team CC 以及 Milk Tea。
对，
跟上个赛季比的话，就是 Little Sheep 变成了 Milk Tea，其实前3是没有变化的。
是的 ，Little Sheep 的问题是，首先他自己人员的一个更迭，然后人员位置的各种排列组合，感觉赛期中的时候没有搞明白。然后再后面的话，就是感觉不是说他们这个赛季退步了多少，而是这个赛季你会发现有几支其他队伍变强了很多。新进来的队伍，
对，
包括新进来的队伍，
成长速度真的非常的快。就像我们刚刚说的 Zones， 或者说是已经就是在常规赛拜拜的 Homie， 其实都是这种成长速度非常快的。
As you can see,
是的
as promised, cremated.
对啊，每一支队伍
Overtasted my
好
bread.
好的去把握。无论在这个赛场上面，这个阶段结束了，还是后面还有比赛，都是需要去不断的努力向上攀登的。好的，那我们的采访也是准备就绪了，让我们来连线一下选手。好有钱
Hello， 大家好，我是好有钱。
Hello， 那先跟大家打个招呼，自我介绍一下吧。
Hello，
还有Xiam，AKA Super Rich。
对，因为这个阶段的话，好有钱也是。
You think GK gonna fall off because of the new patch?
教练来采访，那我们就想问一下
I don't think fall off, but I think Team Liquid and GK are like
都有点吃力，状态
right next to each other in terms of power level.
有很多小
And I think for Tracer benefit, it benefits Team Liquid more.
对于这些有什么想说的呢？
就现在呢，我们在尝试一些新的东西吧，然后对手打的也挺好的，所以我们可能整体上我们还得再多改进、多进步一点。
果然还是新版本，想要看一下。
He's the man with a lot of wealth.
阵容体系打下来怎么
You
样
know why he has so much wealth?
试水的空间在
Because he doesn't waste his money on
那
sleeves.
明天因为现在是从败者组打上来嘛，明天就面对一个魔鬼赛程了。如果 CC 想要去争冠的话，先打 UP， 再打 ROC， 再打 WBG， 那对明天有什么展望呢？
明天的话，先赢下第一场吧，先送Milk Tea回家吧，先。
要送Milk Tea回家，
那得包的，因为不然的话后面那如果说明天能打到 ROC 呢？因为这又是一个复仇之战嘛，昨天刚打了 ROC。
打 ROC 的话，因为就门票已经订好了嘛，就大家就。
What's all that shit behind him?
正常发挥。
That's his team. Very rude of you, Panda.
那其实刚刚小慧是给你们这个听 K 这个队伍说了一句话，是卓哥钦点打。那明天面对到 Milk Tea 又要打自己这个小兄弟啊，好有钱有什么话想对他说吗？
小慧吗？我只能说明天让他知道为什么他从 CC 走了吧。
可以哦，我现在已经很期待明天的这场比赛，感觉火药味已经很重了。好的，感谢好有钱接受我们的采访，也是好好备战后面的比赛，加油，拜拜。
OK， 谢谢，拜拜。
刚刚我看了一眼 KYO 的直播标题，还叫什么“看手足兄弟的比赛”。
Didn't finish the other China playoff videos before I got the copyright strike. Yeah, I think I've trimmed it all out now, so hopefully they're back up if you want to rewatch that action.
那明天手足兄弟要什么？手足互相互搏，
互相给对方加油啊！某某都给对面。
He said he would send Milk Tea home tomorrow.
那对于 CC 来说的话，明天的一个赛程啊，就是确实。会有如果要打到最后
Or not strikes, just like the video wasn't allowed to be published because it was because we watched the Champions League draw for 20 seconds. So it denied the entire video, so I had to trim it out.
ROC 就是打看的呀，哎，对吧？考你的呀。明天，但是他也说了，对，就是门票已经拿到了，那明天也可能就是打看的呀。
Not even any football, by the way. Not even any football. Just the draw. Because we were talking about Esports World Cup groups and stuff and how it should be done. And someone suggested, like, what about Champions League style? And I thought, that's like a really good idea. So I was just sort of illustrating it a little bit for the people who might not be as familiar with the Champions League and football. The Champions League lawyers weren't so happy with that one, so the copyright strike came fast and heavy.
这个老板赞助的，然后就是 工资方面应该也是有给到赞助，所以说 CC 他们现在的话线下了，集体都线下了，并且感觉就是会比较更加的蒸蒸日上吧，因为比较稳定。
I reckon they'll just do snake seeding for the groups like they did last year, but I'd be well up for a Champions League style
能
draw.
力肯定是很强啊，大家都在线下，就一拧就成一股绳。
对，把每一场都当最后一场来打，然后也不要怕输，加油！好的，那我们这边也是休息一下，一会儿回来。
On the possibilities of a rematch against Rock. Rock already got their admissions ticket, so we'll just play them and see what happens. Alright. Non-committal.
先生，您要不要来看看？
Who'll be working these before Cup of co-stream? Probably just co-streaming. No one's asked me to work it, so... It feels like I'm not getting a job.
都是刚发布的悬赏，事儿办得也很漂亮，都非常有意思。
Would be happy to work it though if anyone's hiring. Oh.
Is this game gonna be good?
Thank you, Palin's Patch. Is it gonna be good? You know, since you subscribed with a tier 1, I'm inclined to be honest with you. Probably not. This is probably going to be a Weibo domination. But we've seen Zones and Little Sheep a little bit of fight back from the underdogs so far today. So hopefully Rock can make a bit of a game of it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we're just in a classic Weibo styling on the region type game as well. It has been known to happen.